Hi everyone, this video is to show how to program our on-off function from our S4 long-range transmitter into our RX4-500 long-range receiver. First step is to set your jumper settings on both the receiver and the transmitter to the correct placements. So we'll start setting the S4 jumpers. We'll start right at the top. The top jumper function is set to either a normally open or a normally closed trigger. For programming this, it's better to have it on a normally open, so set your jumper to normally open. The next jumper down is to set either a positive or negative trigger. This jumper can be set on either polarity. For this test, I will set it to negative. Then your next jumper down is set to 1 or 3 transmissions, so to send 1 transmission or 3 transmissions when it's triggered. For programming in the on-off function, you should set your jumper to send 3 transmissions. The last jumper is to send the on-off function or the standard function. You should set this jumper to send the on-off function. The next step is to set the jumper settings on your receiver. So on the receiver you have for each channel a jumper setting of 1 second, 3 second and latch. For the on-off function on this particular receiver, the jumper setting is 1 second and 3 second bridged out. So I've taken a jumper off the second channel and now I'm going to put it on the first channel. You can see there I have 1 second and 3 second bridged out on one channel. The first demonstration I'm going to show you is how to program the S4 transmitter into the receiver with the on-off function with a transmitter that has the older version firmware. The first step is to put the receiver into learn mode. To do that, you just simply press the learn button once. The receiver will then go into learn mode and wait for the on signal. The next step is to then transmit the on signal from the transmitter to the receiver. To do that, you simply use a piece of wire and trigger one of the channels on the transmitter from the polarity you've set on the jumper setting. You'll then hear the receiver pick up the 3 on signals that are sent from the transmitter. The next step is to put the receiver in learn mode for the off signal. To do that, you simply press the learn button again and the receiver stays in learn mode on that same channel. Then to send the off signal from the transmitter, all you do is simply pull the wire out of the channel that you inserted it in previously. The receiver will give you the same beeps as it did before. You've now successfully learned the on and off signal from the transmitter to the receiver. Once you've done this, you simply press learn to cycle through the channels and take the receiver out of learn mode. Once you've taken the receiver out of learn mode, simply take your jumper from the 3 setting to the 1 setting on the transmitter, and to test your function, insert the wire into the channel. You'll see the receiver will turn on, and when you pull the wire out, the receiver will turn off. We're now going to demonstrate how to learn the on-off functionality using a transmitter that has the new version of firmware. The first step is to put the receiver in learn mode. When you press the learn button for the first time, the receiver will go into learn mode and wait for the on signal. The next step is to then select the channel on the transmitter that you want to learn into the receiver. You simply press the advance button to stop on the channel you want to use, and then press transmit to transmit the on signal. When the receiver learns the signal, it will give you those recognition beeps. The next step is to put the receiver in learn mode to receive the off signal. To do this, you press the learn button again, and the receiver is now waiting for the off signal. To send the off signal, simply press advance on the transmitter and transmit. receiver will give you those recognition beeps once it receives the signals. Now that you've learned both signals, simply press the learn button to cycle through all the channels on the receiver to take it out of learn mode. You will do the same thing on the transmitter by pressing the advance button to cycle through all the channels to take it out of transmit mode. Now to test that the function has been learned correctly, simply use a piece of wire wired into the polarity set on your jumper settings. Take the other end of the wire, put it into the channel that you learnt in. You'll see the receiver will turn on, and when you remove the wire, the receiver will turn off. Remember, once you've finished testing your units, to remove the extra bridge wire out of the terminal block. And then reapply power to your unit. Also remember to get optimum performance out of the units to reattach the antennas supplied with both the transmitter and the receiver. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a look at our other videos for more information.